They're not zombies anymore. Too late. Oh well, they blew up Greece anyway. That's how it ended.
They blew up Greece anyway? Really? Did they really just blow up Greece
That's
anyway?
what it looked like.
But what did he say at the end? Did he say...
No, he said, we don't know what happened to them. There's 24 seconds until the bombardment.
Maybe not today, but tomorrow will be a busy day. In the end, it's better not to expect anything from others. Oh, great, just in time. So they're going to come back again?
Listen,
Yeah, but what he was saying...
Greece was exploded.
I know, but remember? But he was saying tomorrow will be a busy day. So he can't be killed.
Well, yeah, he can't.
So how is he gonna bring it all back again? Somehow, a busy day. He brought back all those people.
It's like a video game to them. They just kill all the Greeks. They sit around, they eat buffalo wings, which explains the Earth's fiery anus. and then they just do it all over again.
Interesting.
So it wasn't bad.
No. Mm-mm.
Mediterranean diet.
Yeah.
I'm still hungry.
You ready? Okay. I'm still digesting it.
Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Greek zombie meat.
Welcome to another B movie with Carrie and...
Yvette. And let me just say, I was really excited about this one because I love zombie movies.
Yay! We are back.
With another installment of our Mediterranean diet.
Hooray!
Yay!
So the last one we did was Italian, so this one is Greek.
With delightfully furry Greek men.
Yes, it is Evil in the Time of Heroes, starring Billy Zane.
That's stretching. I don't think it was.
He is the biggest
wasn't
star.
starring Billy Zane, but Billy Zane was in it.
He is the star.
He is the most important character in the movie. I have to give him that.
He's the person everybody would know. You're not going to know anybody else in the film.
Unless you're Greek, I guess. And in the movie, he's their sage, their mage,
Yeah, he's basically, as they stated, their Jedi, their Greek hero.
their baby Yoda.
No, he's no baby Yoda.
This is the way.
No one can compare to baby Yoda. I love my little Grogu.
He was very cute in this one.
Billy Zane?
Well, not as cute as Grogu, of course, but he was grade A Zane. If you like that sort of thing. Just say.
I don't know.
He's
He's handsome, not cute. He's handsome.
a furry, burly
A
Yoda.
very handsome Greek man.
A very, very handsome, manly Zane.
Yes.
So the movie is subtitled.
Yeah, I guess, the whole thing is in Greek.
It is. It's all in Greek. I don't know if they have a version that's dubbed, which would make this hilarious.
Well,
But-
no, I haven't seen one.
It is all subtitled. So if you're going to watch it, be aware that it's all subtitled.
Just make sure you have your glasses on so you can read it. But I like that Billy Zane, he speaks that Greek.
Oh, he does. I know both his parents were Greek, but he's first generation from Chicago. His original Greek name was anglified to Zane.
Xenotakos.
Xenotakos. Cool name.
He did a good job.
A great actor and a fabulous Greek. This movie is a lot like other zombie movies in a lot of ways, with some little quirky differences.
Yeah, the way this occurs, it starts off with ancient Greece. This is actually a sequel to the movie that I wanted to see initially.
We couldn't find a streaming copy
Yeah, it was,
anywhere. And the first one seemed a lot more low budget. It looked like they put some money into this one because the previous one was so popular.
Yeah, so that's why I really wanted to see the first, but it looks like you can only get it on DVD.
Nobody under 30 knows what a DVD is. Maybe under 40. I don't know.
No, you know what? They do, because everybody buys those special HD
I don't know.
Blu-ray. Okay, I'll read a little bit about this. So it says, 3 days ago, everything changed. An ancient force transformed people to bloodthirsty zombies. That wasn't the first time. 2,800 years ago, the situation was the same. Evil was defeated. Will they do the same today? Will they revive the Time of Heroes?
So that's what it's about.
It's about ancient Greece.
These zombies are in almost a class of their own as zombies go. And we had a whole thing about zombies. And maybe this is just a Western concept, but generally our zombies, regardless of they're fast or they're slow or they have consciousness or they seem to have consciousness or not, it doesn't matter.
Right.
You have to kill them by destroying the brain.
You have to, right. That's what we do.
But their zombies, it was kind of a different thing. So they were fast-moving zombies, and their eyes would turn this cool kind of white color. The eye change, the blood, the eating of flesh, that was all very similar to all zombie movies. But in this one, they didn't need to kill the brain to kill the zombie.
No, you could just stab it, cut off its head.
It was unusual to see as far as zombie flicks go.
Yeah, it was a little different in that way. And to know that it happened in ancient times. Woo! And it's happening again.
In time of ancient gods.
I just love the opening scene of going through something that just looks like an anus.
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Ends up on a fire.
It's just this pit in the earth.
It's the Earth's anus on fire.
It's a pit, but it just looked really strange.
It was just weird.
It was like, I don't know about this. And then they show ancient Greek people sitting around a fire talking nonsense.
They were talking about ketchup.
They were making a joke about ketchup.
So now we need to find an ancient recipe for ketchup.
Maybe it was a wrong interpretation.
It's just an odd thing to be talking around the fire about, and they thought it was hysterical.
Well, one person didn't get it. They're like, what? That's how it starts, and someone leaves the circle
To go pee.
and that's where we see the first zombie. It attacks him, and then from there, full-on zombie attack.
This is where we find out that you don't need to kill the brain because they're basically stabbing the zombies.
Yeah, they're stabbing them, smashing their heads in with their feet, and cutting their heads off.
It was a special effects extravaganza of zombies digging into flesh and body parts falling off. It was a spectacularly ooey gooey with bloody zombie effects. It was actually really cool.
So if you are a fan of all the gore, then this is a movie for you.
It's gory.
Because you get so many fight scenes, whether it's ancient Egypt or today's date. We're seeing all these incredible fight scenes, long fight scenes with all kinds of gore and gook.
Slimy, stretchy flesh, entrails,
Yeah.
all that good stuff.
So they had fun with that. They were really enjoying all the different ways to dismember and
Kill a zombie
yeah.
and cannibalize other humans.
Yummy.
Yes.
That was good.
They had a lot of fun with that, you can tell. They were trying to make sure that we were entertained by all the zombie gore.
Considering they must have spent more than half of their budget on Billy Zane, the rest of what they had left had to have gone into gallons of movie blood. The zombie frenzy, makeup, and special effects were really impressive.
Yeah.
Everyone in this movie is just sopping with blood. There isn't a single person that isn't dripping with blood after the
Right,
zombie
yeah.
gorge fest. Or maybe that was ketchup.
And then they poured ketchup on them. Ketchup.
Maybe that's why they're laughing.
I guess the original crew from the first movie, it's two gals, Marina, Jenny, and two guys. And so we see them running from zombies. They're like in a stadium.
Probably a continuation from the previous movie.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's what it looked
Right,
like. It looks like
exactly.
they'd been running from zombies for a while, and this group was tight with each other. It almost
Right.
reminded me of a Walking Dead episode where you knew that this clique of people had gone through a lot together and were fighting as a team.
Yeah, and you can tell right away that they're a cohesive group. They know what they're doing. They've been fighting for a while. And so now they're trying to escape and get out of that stadium, which they do. They fight their way out. And they also have a guy with them, a lieutenant. And I kind of think he wasn't there.
The first movie,
Yeah, because the way he shows up in this film.
although he seems like a pretty central character, he just shows up out of the blue and he's totally spotless. He's totally
Yeah.
clean. It looks like he just showered.
The freshness of a spring morning.
When everyone else is a filthy mess covered in blood.
And he's helping them, and he's kind of guiding them.
So they escape the stadium.
They get into this car, and they're going to drive away. They're getting out of that part of the city, and they're running over tons of zombies. So that's kind of fun.
So this army guy, the lieutenant, I'll call him Vicky because I can't say his name.
No,
army
you can't
dude.
say Vicky because one of the characters is Vicky.
Oh, right, that's right. What's his name? Vicolitis? I've known.
Syphilis.
Syphilitic. So army guy is in the car, but he's just like laughing hysterically every time.
He's having a great time.
They run over a zombie and they hit a head.
He's just like, ah!
And the heads are just flying against the windshield.
Arms,
It's just
limbs everywhere.
limbs, blood is flying everywhere. And he's loving it. He's just laughing his ass off.
Yeah.
And you think, is this one of the good guys?
I know. It's like, wow, this guy's a little bit nutty.
He's crazy.
Then they get into this car wreck.
And the car just flips.
The car flips over, smashes, and they're trying to get out of the car. And you see that the main characters, they're safe, they're fine, they're not hurt. And they're able to get out of the car. But you notice that the lieutenant, he wasn't wearing a seatbelt. He was in the middle. He's still in the car, but his neck is completely cracked.
It's snapped. The bones are just jutting out of his neck.
You can't survive that. And you can hear him gurgling. And so you know, okay, he's dead. So they take off without him. And in the meantime, as they're getting out of the car, suddenly they're being shot at.
And it all happens so fast. Now there's snipers trying to kill them for some reason.
Up on top of the buildings, shooting down at them as they're trying to escape. These people are not zombies. The snipers are not zombies.
At
right?
this point, we don't know what their angle is.
We think that they're just some sort of evil snipers just having fun killing people. Later on, though, we do get to realize that they're a gang
Of pathetic, misogynistic, a-hole snipers
who enjoy killing defenseless women.
who are just trying to escape from the zombies.
We do get to find this out later, that they truly are pigs. They truly are evil, and they're mainly trying to kill women. They do kill guys.
And that's only because they're bad shots, because they're really just trying to kill women.
Later on, you can see how they are specifically really targeting women.
And the movie is so convoluted. I mean, we even skipped over a part because the way it starts, there's the ancient times, then, okay, 3 millennia later, and then we see this guy who's impaled, and he's basically telling the story in a flashback of how everything happened.
They call me Argyrus, and I am or I was a cabbie.
Right. He is the cabbie. They call him the cabbie. And his name is Argyrus. And so in the beginning, we see that he's dead and he was friends with that group. And you could tell one of the women was like, oh no, I can't believe it. And she's so sad. And he's like impaled and he's dead. And she leaves him. And then that's when he starts
Telling his story.
okay, well, this is the second time that I died. Okay, so we know that he's coming back and we know that he's telling a lot of the stories.
Sometimes they would have a title indicating a time shift, but a lot of the time you just had to guess at what timeline you were in. We had flashbacks. We had so many flashbacks of ancient times, of the cabbie, of the lieutenant. It could be so disorienting.
Or you are in a dream sequence because Argyrus does fall asleep often. I don't know how he can fall asleep so easily during the apocalypse, but whatever. And he has these very vivid dreams with these characters in it. So we're thinking it's real, but then it's not real. And then with all the time changes going back and forth, it gets so confusing. And I know it's not a language barrier thing or anything like that.
It could have been us having a hard time following the subtitles, but more than that, I just think it's probably the script.
Possibly maybe even an editing thing.
Oh, don't blame the poor editor. I take offense to that. It could have been a producer, director, cutting room floor kind of a thing, though.
Maybe the way they cut it, we lost some of it. I don't know.
Just a heads up now, this is not my favorite zombie movie.
Right.
I'm not saying it wasn't fun to watch because it definitely was. It was just frustrating at times trying to follow the storyline.
Just be patient with it and just enjoy it for what it is.
Amazon has a little synopsis of it. that it's like Shaun of the Dead mixed with 28 Days Later, and that was pretty accurate.
Is that the one with Brad Pitt?
No, you're thinking of Z Nation. 28 Days Later is with Cillian Murphy, and hands down, it's one of the best zombie movies of all
Which
time.
one's 28 Days Later?
This movie is like a mashup of those two movies, reminiscent of those movies, but not done half as well as either of them. It's not a totally unenjoyable zombie
No,
flick
that's
if
what
you
I
like
mean.
that genre.
That's what I mean.
If you love zombie movies and you haven't seen 28 Days Later or the sequel to 28 Days Later or Shaun of the Dead, then I highly recommend that you go see those movies. But this one is definitely worth watching. It's still a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's just mostly gore and a lot of convoluted flashbacks. And a lot of horny old men and half-naked women.
That's gross.
But that's all horror movies.
So, it's got its fun elements. Yeah.
We got a little off track. So there's a flashback of the lieutenant.
Okay, so I think we start to realize pretty early on that he is some type of maybe ancient hero come back. So we left off where his neck was broken. They left. The snipers are shooting at them. And they meet up with two other guys that are hiding from the snipers. And they have their own guns. And they're trying to get through. So they kind of befriend them as they're all trying to get out together. And suddenly the lieutenant shows up again after having a completely broken neck that's jetting out
And
of
he
his
just
head.
kind of snaps it back into place. Oh, no problem. Crunch.
And so he snaps his neck back.
And he looks all washed and ready to go again.
Clean and fresh.
He's the only one that doesn't get bloody.
Not at this point. At this point,
No,
he's
no,
pretty
he's very
clean and
clean,
yeah. And he brushes his teeth. His teeth are very white.
sparkly white.
It's very clean.
He's a hero for sure. So they escape, but not unscathed. One of the group gets hit.
Gets shot by the sniper. And also Mike, the other guy's friend, gets shot by the sniper too. And he's a guy.
Yeah, but we don't care about them because we don't really know him.
Well, we don't really know them right now either, but we're not invested. We're less invested in him than we are in them.
Right, because, she looks like a nice girl. She looks like a nice girl. And
She was one of the characters from the first movie, so the fans that knew her from that are probably heartbroken.
like, oh no.
No, not her.
But she doesn't die, but she's wounded. So these new guys that they meet up with says, okay, you guys come with me. They go to his place. It looks like a condo and meet up with his friends who he calls the cook.
And I'm not sure if he was really a cook. He may have been a doctor.
Right.
We know he makes a great omelet, so maybe he is a cook.
Well, he makes eggs, so
Because he has knife skills. They also seem to use him as a doctor.
yeah, why not?
I'm a surgeon.
Cook me a fucking omelette.
So there's the cook. There is Argyrus's father. He's obviously an older guy, and he's wearing
Overalls.
you think of him as almost like a Mario character.
He looks just like a Mario.
It's me, Mario.
No mustache, but
No,
he looks
not
like-
that big handlebar mustache and
No.
no big red hat. It'd be cool if he did, though.
But just somehow he just looks like he's from Mario. I don't know.
It's a Mario.
Mario Costas. So he lives there, and there's also an army woman who lives there, Olga,
Army woman, yeah, and she's tidy. She's
and
fit.
she is gorgeous. She is beautiful.
My name is Olga Svetlana. I don't shave my armpits.
She is beautiful.
I like Olga.
So that was it. It was just
That's mainly it because his other friend was killed.
it was the original 4 and the new 3 that tagged along.
So the two army people, Olga and the lieutenant, hit it off, of course. And the father hits on everybody, every woman.
all the girls. I know.
Any woman around, he is going to hit on.
Boobies.
And it gets kind of gross. And then we see Argyrus again. He's there after he's been dead.
They're surprised because they're like, "You died, dude. You died 3 days ago."
We saw that hole in your gut.
They threw him against a wall and he was impaled by a pipe.
One of the gals, Marina, is talking to him and just kind of shocked. And said, I don't believe this. He's like, well, I'm here, aren't I? And she wants to see his belly, and she can see his shirt.
And it's all sewn up where the pipe impaled him.
And so he finally shows his belly, and he's like, oh, I gained some weight.
His big hairy belly is fine.
Yeah, it's fine. There's nothing there. So we know there's something mystical happening here with him. So we know that the lieutenant has some sort of mystical stuff going on
Yeah,
with him.
definitely something supernatural.
Same with Argyris.
So they're hunkered down in this condo, and this is where a lot of the movie takes place.
And that's it so far, right? Meanwhile, the army folks decide that they're going to protect everyone, and they were going to go after the snipers.
So in the 2 seconds they've known each other, they've fallen in love, and they're willing to die for each other in a love pact.
Wouldn't you fall in love with her easily? I think I would have.
She is very beautiful.
Yes, and in a zombie apocalypse,
So they made a date, as army people do. Their date is going out to kill snipers.
Because we know a lot of army people. And we know that's how they date. That's what
Of course, they go out searching for snipers.
searching for evil people to fuck up.
For them, it's a dream date, fucking up evil people together.
Let's go get some payback.
I love you.
And it's adorable. That's their first date.
It's so cute. Oh, it's so sweet.
And he's like turns into a poet.
Oh, he says all these beautiful things.
They're sitting on the edge of the condo building at night, looking over the zombie-ravaged village with a beautiful big moon overhead. Kisses her for the first time.
Oh, kissy kissy, lovey dovey.
Make their love pact to fuck up the snipers.
Let's go fuck with the snipers.
It's a beautiful thing.
So they do find the snipers, and it becomes a big fight. And one of the guys, I feel like he's the ringleader of this gang of misogynistic pig snipers. He is disgusting. He is really messing with the lieutenant because they have a beef that we find out about.
Oh my God.
Because this guy starts saying stuff about the lieutenant's mama.
How does he have a mother?
I know. This whole part is very strange, and I don't even understand it.
It just keeps getting better.
So he's talking about, oh, your mom this and that, and it's like, oh, let's see your mama thing. But there's the flashback. The lieutenant is driving in the car with his mom.
And it's not in ancient times. I thought he was immortal.
It's not. It's recent. But the thing is, you see his mother in the car, right? And his mother is basically him.
It is him.
Wearing a black short wig. He's basically like in drag, full makeup as his mom.
And he looks good.
He's kind of cute.
He makes a
Yeah.
pretty woman.
He makes a pretty woman. So it's him and his mama in the car, which is basically a double of him. And the guy is hitting on the mom.
Just being nasty.
I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna see you again. Ooh, let's get together. Ooh, I want this. And she's like, oh, what a polite, nice man.
Way that dress fitting on you got them titties popping out.
No, yeah.
She's digging it, even though he's saying all these gross, dirty things. But
And Army
whatever.
Boy is not having it.
He's mad. He doesn't like it.
He
So
does not like it.
yeah, so we see that flashback, and now we know that this guy is really messing with him because he knows that
He
he's
knows.
with his
Your mama.
Your
I've been with
this,
your mama.
that. I like your mama.
And this it infuriates Army Boy.
Oh yeah, so he starts just wailing on the guy, just punching him. Well, the rest of the gang has their guns pointed at him. He finally stops because
His new girlfriend, Olga.
pulls him away from the guy and says, come on, we got to get out of here. They've got their guns drawn and can't really fight all of them because there's too many guys there. So they leave.
That whole scene is weird, and you really don't know where they're going with all the mama
The
stuff.
whole mom thing.
All the scenes are a little odd.
I just didn't know if it was going to go somewhere else. That was all we get of the mom.
There's all these strange little one-offs that just don't really go anywhere throughout the movie. There's this one scene where the father Costa's staring at the girl's toes, like he's got a foot fetish.
Like he's got like some foot fetish going on.
Cheesy.
What else is confusing is during a lot of the fight scenes, certain people are killed while they're fighting the zombies, and they look so similar to the main characters that you think the main characters were killed too.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God, they just killed.
And then you realize, no, that's a different woman. She's still alive.
She must have been wearing the same dress or something. But
I don't know.
so they get back to the apartment after they did their little job of nothing really, just screwing with those snipers. And a woman is running, okay? And she's been running away from zombies, running down the street. And they've shown her a few times, like just quick scenes of this woman, like out of breath, running, this young woman, really pretty with long hair. So I guess at this point, the snipers are out there and they hear something.
So the lieutenant and Costas hear this, and they go out and help her and pull her into the apartment.
She's just very, very, very distraught and upset because her boyfriend broke up with her and left her on the Ferris wheel.
The snipers and the zombies don't bother her.
And you're like, what?
I know, she's just like a jilted girlfriend. Nothing about the zombies
saying
and the
this and
snipers.
what?
She's just complaining about her sucky boyfriend.
My boyfriend has been ignoring me all week. He has not been responding to any of my texts.
It's a zombie apocalypse.
She was jilted. She's not even upset about the zombies. She's crying about the boyfriend who jilted her.
She's upset that she was dumped.
She's just, and she's super cute and everything. And our boy, Argyris, of course, is drawn to her because he's drawn to all the ladies. Boobies. Just like his dad. And he is just like so in love with her. Like, I would never leave you on the Ferris wheel alone. I would never break up with you. And she's just like, ugh, get away from me. I'm not interested in you. Go away, stop bugging me.
Yeah.
Because she pretty much is saying, stop bugging me.
Go away.
I think she does literally say, get away from me.
Yeah, she says, stop bugging me. Stop bugging me. But the weird part about this, too, is the next morning, the dad, old man Mario Costas, in his overalls, is having a wonderful cup of coffee, just like happy. It's morning, I'm having this delicious cup of coffee. And he is just chatting away to little Vicky, whose heart was broken. And he is just all into her, just ooh. And she is so attentive and listening, and
she's into it,
asking him questions, and she's so into him.
It's a little creepy.
And it's creepy. You're like, wait, is she just kind of playing around with him? Or is she just being nice because he's an elder and she just wanted to hear his story and was like, oh, okay. But no, that wasn't the case. She's actually kind of into him.
There's no explaining what the heart desires.
Yeah, right. And Argyris is not happy with that at all.
No, he's totally into her. How are all these people so horny when there is a looming
I know. That's what we were talking about as we're
apocalypse?
watching it. We're like, why is everyone so interested in hooking up when everybody is being killed? You're either going to be killed by a fucking misogynistic sniper or
flesh-eating zombies. I mean, there's no
What is
safety
going
out there.
on?
That's the last thing on your mind. Or maybe it's just me. Maybe I just need some hormones.
So Vicky says, guys, I need to get to a phone where I can call out because I need to call my cousin in England and tell her I'm okay and let her know what's going on here. So they do have to go out.
Because they needed to do a couple of things. They needed to get medicine for the girl who was shot, but they also wanted to go out and get a phone because they needed to contact this cousin.
So they do get to a phone, and this part's in English. Wow, because her cousin's in England, and her cousin's watching on the television what's going on in Greece.
On the telly.
However unlikely that might be, it looks like for the past few days, the city almost 5 million.
Hello. Eleni.
And she's like, oh my God, you need to get out of there. And so then she starts speaking in Greek. So
yeah, they're Greek again.
It goes back to that again. But on the news, we can hear in England, they're saying that they are going to bomb the area.
They are planning on decimating all of Greece so that they can kill the zombie scourge.
Right. Because they don't want the spread of that zombie disease.
Why is that always the solution? In all these zombie movies, the solution is bomb it.
Yeah. And and it just kind of reminded me of COVID times.
No, I don't think anybody wanted to bomb us, though.
Oh, they did. Everybody wanted to bomb
the COVID
us.
times.
Yeah. It just made me think about that. Like, oh, we could have been bombed.
Quien sabe? Who knows what was going on in the solution room? That's absolutely frightening.
If it was just us, damn well they would have bombed us.
If it was just California.
It was just California for sure. That would have been like instantaneous. It would have been like, goodbye, California.
Zombies, goodbye.
COVID in California only, goodbye.
That's so wrong. No.
Yeah. And so now there's another added layer. So now every once in a while on the screen, we get a timeline like boom, 20 hours and 42 minutes until
the bombardment. But it's always like
bombardment.
times like 9:56,
Yeah.
4 hours and 23 minutes. It's
Yeah,
like,
exactly. It's
you
like,
could it could have just been 4.5 hours, 10 hours. That would have been fine. And having real times didn't really enhance the realism for me. It just made me have to do math.
time's ticking down. Tick, 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 tick.
And they don't even care. They don't even care about the zombies. They're just trying to hook up.
They weren't even thinking about zombies that much anymore. They're just thinking about their dates, their hot dates. So yeah, so now there's the added layer. Okay, fine. And so around this time is where we get to see a lot more of Billy Zane.
Beautiful Billy Zane.
Yeah, because we've only seen him in like extremely short little clips.
Very short.
And it is usually during the ancient times.
And honestly, that's all I thought we were going to get of Billy Zane because I didn't think they had that much money for more than a couple of scenes in their budget. I thought he was just going to be a snippet in the very beginning of ancient times and then we'd never see him again.
But you know, the funny thing, even in ancient times, wasn't he wearing the same?
He's wearing that same cloak. I can't imagine how it smells after millions of years of epic battles with zombies. It probably smells like ancient ketchup.
Ooh, it's dirty. It's dirty. Yeah, and we see him sitting back up against a tree, Jedi. And you see next to him a body coming up from the grave. And so we kind of get the idea that this ancient person who's coming up from the grave is probably one of the modern people reincarnated.
I guess they could have been reincarnated. I just thought they were immortal.
I feel like that's kind of what happened with the lieutenant. Like we got that idea from, but we also, you know, it also kind of comes back to Argyris.
It's tricky with Argyris because he keeps dying and then coming back in the same body. And so it's like he's an immortal, but yet he has a father in this lifetime, but he's somehow connected to ancient times.
Right. He has connections to the past like that too, but I don't know who he was necessarily.
Argyris, it's interesting because Argyris is very childlike.
Yes, he is.
So maybe he's a new immortal, and that's why he has a mind of a child. Whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. But the point is, we have the lovely Billy Zane to walk us through this.
Dreamy Billy Zane.
And the thing is, when they show Billy, it's like they're trying to be like super artistic. You know,
It's like video art.
It's all black and white, and the way the pictures move.
It was very artsy, flowing collage imagery, very soft focus.
I thought that was kind of interesting how they did that. But so Billy, we can see that he can very easily kill zombies. He can get through anywhere, even if there's thousands of zombies chasing him. He's able to just kill, kind of like
He's
Matrix
like a
style.
samurai. Matrix
Yeah,
samurai
it's like Matrix style because it's like you see him,
ninja,
you know, in many different places all at once killing zombies.
and many different times and many different places all over the place. He's just slaughtering zombies. And you get the idea that he's not bound by time and space because he could just pop up anywhere, anytime he wants.
That's very like Matrix. So you get that. And so, you know, they're telling us that he is like a Jedi or some, you know, spiritual.
Yeah, it's apparent that he has supernatural powers.
In some scenes, you see him with this box in his hand, this little cube. It's decorated with probably words, you know, writing, but
it looks like the Hellraiser box. If you're familiar with Hellraiser, there's that box that's in Hellraiser. It kind of looks a little bit like that.
So we get a little bit of that. And so we know that eventually everything's going to connect. He's going to connect to the people. Meantime, they're all back at their apartment, and Jenny has passed away, and they're all very distraught.
It's all very sad.
But of course, a little while later,
Jenny turns full zombie.
And there's zombie killings in the apartment.
Here's where we meet a couple of new guys that turns out they were squatting in the condo. Those are the guys that end up getting killed and turning. So they don't kill off the main characters, except for poor Jenny.
So now Jenny's gone. But also, and this was kind of weird too, the soldiers, the lieutenant and the army woman, Olga, they had gone out and done their thing and come back. And then somehow they're out again, unless they were just like watching the perimeter.
You don't really know where they were. They're in a different space and they're making out.
Under the full moon, they're having their time together and they're really connecting. And that's when you see the little red dot from the sniper's gun on her head. And they don't notice it because they're kissing. And the fucking sniper shoots her in the head. And so she dies and she falls over.
Sad.
It was awful. Ugh. Then the lieutenant stands up and he's screaming, "No!" And the sniper's red dot is on his forehead. The sniper shoots, but the lieutenant falls back. And you know that he's not killed because he's hasn't been killed this whole time. He's able to kind of outmaneuver bullets for some reason. And so the sniper thinks he killed him because he fell. But then later on, he gets up and you can see like there was a little bit of a graze on his forehead. That's it. So she's gone. So we're losing characters here.
Oh my gosh. They're dropping like flies.
And it's just kind of strange how it's all happening because it doesn't quite gel. It doesn't quite make sense. We don't really understand where they are or why it's happening that way. But
too many flashbacks, too many time jumps, too confusing.
In the meantime, Argyris is bothering that girl, Vicky, so much again that at one point she's talking to someone and he literally gets scissors and snips off a good portion of her hair to keep for himself.
So creepy.
So he has her hair, right? And she's like, "Get away from me." And at some point he goes into the bathroom and he's totally taking a dump, right?
He seems constipated, and I just feel like a hero would never be constipated.
And holding her hair in his hand and
It's disgusting.
kind of nuzzling it, like he's just so in love. It's just like, oh my God, this is so sick.
It's foul.
It's so sick. I hope people really don't do that kind of shit. That's just gross.
It's disgusting.
Please do not do that. Take a little memento and hold it as you're pooping.
That's weird.
God, really?
This is not helping us sympathize or relate to our protagonist at all.
Why couldn't they just show him like all cuddled up in bed, just like with it next to him and like, oh, I'm just gonna dream about her. She's so dreamy. But instead he's pooping. Really? God.
I want so much to erase it from my memory.
I did not need to see that.
It's not making us love Argyris.
Whatever.
I wonder if he really was. They had to cut corners everywhere.
They had to wait till he was ready.
Oh my God.
I'm ready now. I'm ready for
so
my
disgusting.
scene. I am ready for my pooping scene. I'm ready for my
close-up.
close-up of the pooping.
Oh my gosh.
That's gross.
So yeah, so that happens. Ugh. And Billy is making his way closer to the apartment. And in the meantime, Argyris had somehow left the door open or not locked, and some zombies got in, and there's this big fight, and the cook is trying to make fried eggs in a beautiful cast iron skillet. Wonderful breakfast happening. Zombies are getting in. Everybody's fighting left and right. Argyris gets killed by a zombie, and we're thinking, is he really gone or not?
And we're really not that unhappy after the poop scene.
And the cook is fighting, and he tells Marina, who's in the kitchen, to take care of the eggs. So she's taking care of the eggs, but then she realizes that they need some help. So she gets the cast iron skillet and flings it through the kitchen into the living room where they're fighting.
And they have this really cool, dynamic, slow-mo scene here where the cook is thrown a frying pan with eggs, and he flips the eggs, smashes a zombie's head in, and then catches the eggs. It's spectacular.
So that the eggs are saved and they'll still have breakfast and all the zombies are dead.
So they really tried some artistry in here. They've done that before with where the bullet is going in slow motion and you can actually see the waves of the bullet moving through space. And they did the same thing here with the frying pan scene. It was really cool.
So they have breakfast, but you know what? Argyris is dead. Oh, wait. Is he really? Now Billy shows up and he does some Reiki on Argyris and brings him back to life.
He does.
He heals him with his magical hands.
I didn't realize Argyris was kneeling, so it just makes Billy Zane from that perspective look like he's a giant, like he's enormous.
Billy
Is he
Zane
that
is
little?
massive. Billy Zane is huge.
He's huge. Billy is trying to explain things to Argyris, and he gives him the Hellraiser cube, but he doesn't really say anything. It's almost like Argyris is just supposed to know.
Basically, like you need to meditate and open your mind, and you're going to know everything.
It's kind of like the Matrix. Argyris is like the poor man's Neo.
Except dorky and pooping on the toilet. And pooping on the toilet.
What are you doing, you weirdo?
So now we know that Argyris is going to save the day. So he gets his little clan together, and now we know that the bombs are getting closer.
Countdown to the bombardment.
They don't know, of course, because they're not watching the news.
Yeah, no one's watching.
Why do
the
they
news.
never watch the news?
Can they? Wasn't it a time before cell phones? And I don't think they had a TV in the condo.
It's the cook's apartment.
The cook doesn't have time for TV. He only has time for cooking and healing.
I'm a surgeon.
Anyway, I digress. So Argyris is thinking, I know what we need to do. We need to get out there. And the friends are like, no, we need to get on a ship and get the fuck out of this place, go far away from Greece. And he's like, no. I just have this feeling that we could just save everyone and everything's going to be just wonderful and beautiful and happy.
This is the way.
This is the way of the Jedi. As they're looking outside, there's this light coming down from the sky, just like a laser beam onto the ground.
Go to the light, Caroline.
Exactly. So Argyris says, we're going to go over there. We're going to go to the light. And says, okay. So they decide to go ahead and follow him because, I don't know, maybe he's got a good idea. We'll see. And if not, we'll just go find some ships. So they do follow him, and you can see that as Argyris is walking through where all the zombies are.
And the zombies just part like the Red Sea.
And as he moves his hands, he can kind of move them back, too. It doesn't happen that way with the friends, although...
They're still fighting the zombies.
But it's like, at first, the zombies kind of ignored the friends. But then later on, as Argyris is really close to the light...
Well, he's getting more separated from them. They're getting lost in the zombie crowd.
Yeah.
And they're having to fight off some zombies because they don't have the power.
No, but it's weird because at first they don't have to fight them off. And I'm like, what? But I guess maybe it's a distance
I think it's
thing?
a distance thing. They were all huddled together in this little Argyris bubble, a protection bubble.
A protection bubble.
But they kept getting lost in the crowd, and as they separated and he kept getting further away from them.
They were no longer in the bubble.
They weren't in the bubble, and they were having to fight the zombies.
Okay, so they're no longer in the protection bubble.
When did the doctor put on a booty and crush a zombie head?
He did.
He puts on a booty and crushes a zombie head. He didn't want to get his shoes dirty.
Yeah, I don't blame him. It's kind of gross. And it's funny, too, because the group, they all have these different weapons of choice. One girl has kind of like a little machete. The other girl has like a butcher knife. The Mario guy, Costas, has a...
It's like a chainsaw massacre. He has this big giant chainsaw.
It's me, Mario!
And the cook is fighting with this boomerang.
with Aboriginal artwork on it. It's kind of funny.
Really coolest weapon ever. Not as cool as a chakram, but pretty cool.
So everyone's trying to get through, and the zombies are starting to kind of make a mess. But they're all fighting them, and they're doing really well. They're not having any problems.
Considering they're drowning in a sea of zombies, it's a miracle they're all still alive.
So Argyris is playing around the light.
It's a big giant beam of piercing light that's coming from the clouds and exploding into the ground like a laser beam.
But it's weird because he's just kind of standing around it and like acting like he's all cool or whatever. He's not really doing anything.
I do not understand his power. I do not understand why they gave him power. He's shooting lasers from his fingers like a gun, exploding zombie heads.
Pew! 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 Pew!
And using diva hands to stop zombies in their tracks.
Yeah, bitch. Work.
Oh, no, he didn't.
He's just having a fun time knowing he's got all these powers. Then he's just kind of standing there, not helping his friends, not even thinking about where his friends are.
Or his dad.
Or his dad, I know.
Yeah, and a face appears within the lightning bolts. This didn't make sense.
Nothing made sense. Nothing made sense. The giant laser beam shoots into the ground and makes a gaping, fiery earth anus. And then all of a sudden, from the clouds, this big, gigantic, electrified Teletubby face appears. I'm thinking it escaped from the box he had it in.
He didn't throw the box in, though.
No, but he was holding it, so maybe the lightning face exploded from the box. I don't know, but this big face emerges, like this big kind of see-through transparent face with electric lightning bolts shooting through the sky and all around him.
Yeah, is that supposed to be evil?
I have no idea.
I don't think it was good because it started kind of shocking him and he was down on the ground like
and all the zombies were being shocked too. That big horde of zombies around him was all shaking like they were being electrocuted.
And he was like being electrocuted.
And he was too.
Like, well then, is he your hero?
And I'm like, why is there a hole? I thought they were going to throw the zombies in the hole.
Well, we don't.
But they didn't throw the zombies in the hole.
Wait, is he going to jump into the hole and it's going to be like a giant slide? Yippee! Or is he going to throw the zombies in and they're just all going to die?
But wait a second. Now I'm having a realization. Were they not zombies at all? Were they just possessed by this electric, translucent god? And that's what he had to capture into the box and throw into the hole? Because he threw the box into the hole and then all the people were cured. So maybe he was sucking the electric, evil god out of the people into the box to throw it into the anus of the earth.
Wait a minute. He's sucking the electric person.
Sucking the electric god person.
He's sucking him
out of the zombies. Putting in the box. That's what it looked like.
He's sucking the electric evil
thing
face.
The electric evil face into the box. And throwing it to Earth's anus.
Which is sucking the evil out of the people who are zombies because it was a possession.
And then he throws the box.
All of the sucking winds up in that box.
Oh, it's very sucky!
And then he throws it into the Earth's fiery anus.
And then he flings the box into the fiery anus.
That's exactly what he does.
It's all so clear to me now.
That's my theory.
Okay, well, this is very Greek.
Now that I put it all together, I think that's what actually happened.
All right. So your theory is that the Zen Jedi, Billy Zane, gave him
an evil capture box.
So like in Ghostbusters. What was the thing in Ghostbusters called that captured the ghost?
Proton pack.
The proton pack is the lights that they use. They use that captures them. And then they put them into the trap.
So yeah, it's like that. It's like a proton pack and it captures evil energy.
So the box is the trap.
Like Hellraiser. You have to capture all the evil into that box.
Uh-huh.
That's the only explanation that makes sense.
Okay, well, if that's the case, then why the hell are we even worried about Greek heroes and gods?
I don't know.
Then we don't even have to worry about that.
Don't we? Because isn't Billy Zane the god that is making all of this happen?
He just provides the box.
That's the most important part.
He provides them.
That's all he needed to do.
He could have given that to anybody. Why does he have to give it to stupid Argyris?
I agree. Greek gods aren't infallible, and that was a very questionable decision. Isn't he the one that released the evil to begin with?
Oh, God, that'd be horrible.
Do they just keep doing this over and over again so that the gods have something to do?
Why would they do that?
Because the gods are bored and they just want something to do.
They're bored as hell.
They just want to fuck up the earth so that they can have some reason to come in and be heroes and fix it again. And they just keep doing it over and over again.
So basically, this is just a Greek version of Ghostbusters.
It's just fucked up. A fucked up version of Ghostbusters.
That's messed up, man.
A not funny version. It wasn't funny. I mean, there was some seriousness with those stupid snipers.
We didn't need misogynistic snipers shooting naked women.
They didn't need that.
Didn't need it. But there were a few things in this that no one needed. Anyway, I think my scenario makes sense. They just keep killing everybody because they're bored. Because even after all the hero stuff, they bomb Greece anyway.
Because they still bomb them afterwards.
And so Greece is now bombarded. And so the gods say, or the gods? I don't even know who's saying it. We have a lot of cleaning up to do now.
Argyris was saying that.
So if that's the case, okay, they're just effing with humanity.
Yeah.
Because they're bored, they create zombies, then you capture them again, and then they get bombed, and then they bring everybody back to life again, and then they do it all over again in another 3 millennium.
Well, that sounds about right to me.
This movie's fucked up.
It's so fucked up.
What a mess. It really is a mess.
It is. It is.
Honestly, really, not my favorite zombie movies ever. 28 Days Later, amazing. And Shaun of the Dead. And there's so many great, amazing zombie flicks and television shows and all sorts of things. And now The Last of Us, it's not about really zombies. It's more about fungus people. But
yeah,
it's so good.
They call them zombies in it?
No. Clickers, the infected, they're not really officially zombies. They're taken over by fungus.
Yeah, it's gross.
It's not like a virus. So all the other zombie movies are viruses.
Yeah.
But see, this wasn't a virus. This wasn't a fungus. With this movie, it was like an evil entity.
It's supposed to be evil.
It was like possession. I wouldn't even call them zombies. And maybe that's why you can kill them, because they're not zombies. They're just possessed. I wouldn't call them official zombies.
Well, they're more than just possessed because they're still eating people.
They're cannibals. They're possessed and they turn cannibal. They're just cannibals. I mean, look, even the doctor, the cook who wasn't a zombie or a cannibal, started eating a zombie. Why did he start to eat a zombie? Maybe they were all already cannibals.
Look, well, he needed to taste the food because he's a cook.
You know what?
He wants to try everything, just like people try alligator meat.
Okay, new theory. They're all possessed, and everyone in Greece are cannibals. Oh my gosh, I'm not even going to say it. It was just so convoluted. And it was, it's okay, it's fun. Cute girls, cannibal possession. I could have done without misogynist snipers.
No, that could have been left out.
Possession and cannibalism is not bad.
But then if it's all about evil, then why weren't those misogynistic snipers, why didn't they turn zombie?
Because I don't know. I mean, it's weird. It's weird because it seems like it's all about being possessed by this evil entity. When the evil entity is captured by this box and thrown into the earth's fiery anus, they're all cured again. Why did people become zombies in the first place? How did they become possessed? It wasn't a virus. It wasn't a fungus. It wasn't a bacteria. How did they get to be zombies? They don't explain any of that.
Well, this was supposed to be the explanation from the first one.
It's an explanation for the first one, but it's called Evil in the Time of Heroes.
Right.
It's not called Zombies in the Time of Heroes. It's not called...
No, but they do use the word zombies throughout the film.
Well, they call them zombies, but really it's about evil.
Maybe zombies are all about evil no matter what. Whether it's a virus, whether it's
zombies aren't evil. Zombies are kind-hearted people that just happen to be sick. That's possession.
Zombies are kind people.
I argue the case that it's not a movie about zombies.
Okay. Zombies are kind people
that just happen to eat human flesh. They can't help it.
They can't help themselves.
Poor zombies.
Poor zombies.
Especially the slow zombies.
They can't help themselves. Poor zombies.
Fast zombies, I don't feel so bad for.
They're not as nice as the slow zombies.
The fast zombies can fend for themselves. Poor slow zombies are defenseless.
Oh my God. Would you be a fast zombie, a slow zombie, a vegan zombie?
Faking tofu brains.
Basically, I guess, impossible.
Impossible human meat.
I feed my zombie impossible human meat. Tastes just like the real thing.
Beyond human.
That Beyond Human smells tasty. Delicious. And I don't offend anyone. On sale now. Oh.
So that's how it ended. So they get bombarded, and apparently it's going to happen again. It was a very convoluted film. There were so many flashbacks. And the thing that really kind of bothered me is that there were flashbacks that they would put up a screen like 3 days later.
Other times, forget it.
They'd be in the 3 days later scene, and then there'd be another flash to some other time, and you wouldn't even know what it was.
Yeah. I know that kind of is a little aggravating. It is aggravating. But, if you don't mind that and you just want to see gore and
a man go to the bathroom and sniff hair.
And this is your film. Enjoy.
And an old guy obsessed with toes. You'll love it.
Hey, everybody's got their kink. Everybody's got their fetish.
Excellent film.
Yes. Yes, indeed. So that's it. That's the movie. And that's all we have to say. Evil in the Time of Heroes.
This was the entree to our Mediterranean diet. And unfortunately, I'm still hungry. Now we just have to do the dessert. This was the big, meaty entree.
What's it though? We're going to give you... This one just gave us gas. Zombie intolerance. These zombies. Oh my god. This movie. Oy.
One thumb down and gave me indigestion.
I cannot digest this. No, not at all. Definitely not healthy. Not on my food plan.
No moss.
Well, thanks for listening, guys. We love you all. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. You can find us at Another Being Movie Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Yeah, we want to hear from you. So email us at anotherbeingmoviepodcast@gmail.com. Yes. Don't forget to give us 5 stars.
5 estrellas, por favor.
Thank you. Yes. And until next time, everyone get your cookbooks out. We'll have another delicious recipe from our Mediterranean diet series.
It has been muy sabroso.
Bon appetit.
Goodbye.
Hasta luego.
No.
Hasta luego.
Las
quesadillas son gratis.